Shot and beautiful. Wisen.
It's time for high school sports right here on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Biosports Physical Therapy, Charter College, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Les Schwab, One Way Construction, Rivercom 911, Save Mart, and Sangster Motors. And now let's get ready for high school sports. It starts now on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Shot into the bar. Go, 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 go. Good afternoon and welcome to Lee Bofto Field here at the Apple Bowl as we begin our 2022 spring sports schedule here on the NCWLIFE Channel. It's lacrosse today as Wenatchee hosts the Kamiakin Braves. Well, we're going to talk about mascots coming up because it's a conglomeration kind of sport. Thomas Bass joining me. I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Good to have you back. And you're not just on the broadcast today, you're coaching as well.
Yep, just finished up coaching our 7th and 8th grade team. We had a good bout against Richland's two teams, split that difference, and had a great time.
Talk about the health of the lacrosse movement here in the Wenatchee Valley. Been around a long time. It's good to have Brandon Parker, I think, back head coaching, wouldn't you say?
Oh, goodness gracious. Brandon Parker is the best head coach that anybody could ask for. Last year, I coached the high school team. His schedule allowed him to come back and free up, and he asked me to be his assistant. And I said, absolutely not. I'm going lower and feeding you better players. So if you're talking about the growth of the program, that's the idea. Start low, send them up to this guy. Yeah. Let's get him playing.
Well, and let's talk about that. The numbers are still shading towards the younger group. Not a lot of veteran players back this year. That's going to bode well for the next year to 2 years down the road, right?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, our middle school team has almost 30 kids on it. I've got about 5 8th graders who are all about 6 feet tall, so I'm very excited about that.
That's awesome at that age. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know Kamiakin, Southridge, the combined school down south in the Tri-Cities, had a rough season last year, and there was kind of some questions as to whether they're going to be able to field a team or not. They're here today. What do we expect?
We expect a lot of great things from them, all right? So Wenatchee has been the powerhouse here in the center of Washington. Richland has recently challenged that throne. It's been a really fun bout going back and forth between those guys. But the split between them is going to be interesting. It's always hard when you lose a lot of your senior talent to a different team. And if you're splitting up, 6 guys that have been playing together for 4 years, that's always going to be an issue.
Well, Brandon Parker is back at head coach. We're going to talk to him as our pregame show continues. Get you ready for the face-off. It's a beautiful day for lacrosse, and it's coming to you live here on the NCWLIFE Channel as Wenatchee hosts Kamiakin here on the NCWLIFE Channel. We'll be back with more at the Apple Bowl right after this.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön. Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
One. Pre-game show continues here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we get ready for Wenatchee and Kamiakin Southridge. We'll learn more about that as we go today. Brandon Parker back at head coach. The booth was so bad to you last year, you thought, what worse could there be?
I did a game with you up in the booth and thought, man, there's got to be a better thing for me in my life. And no, that was actually a really good time and I enjoyed it. But I definitely just wanted to get back involved with the team and the program, and glad to be here, and they're a great team and good kids, and looking forward to it.
Well, I know last year when we did the broadcast that we talked a lot about youth, and that is still the theme here for Wenatchee, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a young team. We have a lot of freshmen. We've got a lot of kids coming up from the 8th grade next year. We're only graduating 2 seniors this year. So the majority of the team's coming back, and it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. And we had some youth games out here earlier today, and there's a whole bunch of kids ready to come play high school.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
What, 5th and 6th graders, something like that?
We had the 5th, 6th. We had 7, 8 first, and then the 5th, 6th. So, yeah.
Let's talk about what happened this week. You guys coming to today 1-1. You won down in Sela, but stumbled last night in Richland. Pretty close game. Talk about the week so far.
Yeah, well, the first game against Sela was our first game, so we worked out some kinks, but ultimately got the win and played really well. There were a lot of good things in that game. Everybody was healthy. Coming into last night's game, we had one player sick, one player with a leg injury, one player with a knee injury, one player with a groin pull. We only had 13 players for the game.
Oh, man.
So, and, you know, that's including the goalie. So we had 12 players, 3 subs. Richland had a bench of 25 or something. So we didn't have the numbers, but they hustled and just gave it everything they had till the last whistle. And we were at a 6-5 game, and we were at a 9-8 game, and they got a couple of goals right at the end. So we'll come back. We'll see them here April 14th.
Okay.
And we'll give it another shot, and we'll be hopefully healthy, and we'll have some other things up our sleeve that they didn't see.
Secret stuff. Okay.
Well,
Don't give the secret away.
I absolutely won't.
We will take a break and come back into the lineups and get you the face-off. Coming up, it's Wenatchee and Kamiakin next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
And welcome back once again here to Lee Bofto Field and the Apple Bowl, along with Thomas Bass. Eric Granstrom with you here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we get ready for lacrosse today to kick off our spring schedule as we have the Kamiakin Braves and Wenatchee. And that's something, Thomas Bass, you know, when I first started following what was happening here with Wenatchee lacrosse, they were known as the Thunder. They're not the Thunder anymore. So, and from what I hear, there is no mascot. So we got to come up with something.
Well, I mean, I like the team Thomas Bass is. I mean, go Thomas on 3. Why can't I be the mascot? I'll go out there. I know how to cartwheel.
Well, you know, that'd be good for you and your family, maybe, you know, that type of thing. But the kids probably really don't care all that much. So, I don't know. We're a conglomeration of Wenatchee High School, East Mountain High School, Cashmere High School. Mm-hmm. So, should it be the Panther Cat Dogs?
Sounds right.
Panther Cat Dogs?
I mean, if
something like that?
If that's second place to the Thomas Basses, I think we're in trouble.
Well, let's talk about the starting lineups as they are out on the field getting the word from our officials. By the way, our officials today, the referee is Brian Walker. The field judge is Ryan Fancher. Let's look at the starters here for Kamiakin. First of all, as it will be Zach Martin, a junior at midfield. Zach Bort out of Saddle Mountain High School down in the Tri-Cities. He's an attacker. He's a senior. Weston Knight wears number 18. He's a junior defender. Tyler Martin wears number 20. He's a junior midfielder. Logan Osler is their goalie. He's 30 for 49 so far in the season as Kamiakin comes in 0-2 on the young campaign here in 2022. He's a senior, wears number 24. He'll be in goal. Number 27 is a cool name, Captain Osborne. He's a defender. He's a junior. 42 is Tim Mon. He's a attacker, and he's a sophomore. Carter White is a sophomore attacker, and Maddox Evans is a defender. He is a junior. Meanwhile, for the Wenatchee team, as they're coached by Brandon Parker, assisted by Ken Gilman, Jimmy Sherrill, and Cutter Wilkins. Wenatchee High School's Carson Reiner will get the start in goal today. He's a senior. He's 18 for 37 so far on the campaign, including a tough loss last night on the road at Richland. August Kreider is a defenseman. He's a junior. Henry Nelson is an attacker. He's from Cashmere High School. He's a senior. Andrew Mathena is in defense. He's a sophomore. We'll get the rest of them for you coming up in just a moment. Out there to do the face-off. Looks like it's Cadell Velasquez for Wenatchee. Excuse me, no, it was Charlie Jorgensen out there for Wenatchee. As we're underway here on the artificial surface at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl, and the ball comes up in the hands in the stick of the long stick out there. That's Zach Martin. As Kamiakin will go on the attack to start things, and just similar to ice hockey, they can do a substitution on the fly. And so coming into the game for the Braves is Logan Howard, and a shot's going to be taken, but right there scooping it up is Carson Reiner. And Thomas Bass, talk about Reiner and his ability back there in goal.
Well, Carson's a heck of a goalie. He started out his campaign with 7th, 8th grade when I was coaching middle school with him as a midfielder. He then, due to personnel differences and decisions there, decided to be a goalie, and it turns out he's been really good. Oh,
right in front, and a goal scored for Wenatchee here in the opening moments, and connect it. Andrew Vander Schalie, the junior for Wenatchee, gets the goal, the first of the game here at the 11:09 mark of the first.
Yeah, and get ready to hear that name a lot. This kid, Andrew, has been all over the field the last several years of his high school career, being a major contributor as a sophomore, working up as an upperclassman now. That was Matthew Jobe with the assist, number 27. You be ready to hear those two names to each other over and over throughout the season.
So Wenatchee takes the early lead here, and we kind of talked about this a little bit. Kamiakin has had kind of a tough go of it. So they were just 1-9 last year with a combination of Southridge and Kamiakin. As Wenatchee wins the faceoff, Charlie Jorgensen will get it into the box and get a little shove from behind. And Wenatchee will start things offensively. As off the bench coming in is Vander Schalie, and he will handle the ball as he is at midfield there at about the 30-yard mark right now. And that's going to be tough for our camera folks, as we'll try to keep up with it as best we possibly can. We've got a bunch of new folks on cameras that are doing lacrosse for the very first time here today. Behind the goal is Matthew Jobe. He was the one, as Thomas mentioned, connected with Vander Schalie. And here comes Vander Schalie again. Had the ball stripped from behind, and a nice job by the defense there for Kamiakin as they turn the ball over, but Wenatchee is able to get it back. Good play by Luke Smith. Here's a drive from the left side by Jobe. Took a look, got the defense to show him what he wanted. Now Vander Schalie is going to shoot it, and it's a little bit high, but back there on the back line is Gilman, and so Wenatchee will maintain possession. Inbounds comes in as he'll toss it out to Jobe, as they'll go back around the horn out top as Smith has it. He lost the handle. Now a chase at midfield for it. And we got a whistle, and let's see if we have our first penalty of the game. No, it'll be play on, says the official on the far side.
That was an over and back. If the offense is controlling the ball and the ball goes over the midline, the defense has a chance to return it over. But if the offense picks it back up, it is going the other direction.
Here's a turnover by Kamiakin as they tried to throw it out to the sideline, and it will skitter into the Wenatchee bench, and so Wenatchee will have it. And again, once you get it across midfield, you got 10 seconds to get it inside that blue box. Kind of hard to see on our cameras here, but that blue box stretches from the 30-yard line in behind the goal. And here's a nice drive and a shot, but a good stop. Henry Nelson on the drive for Wenatchee, but a good stop by the goalie. Logan Osler has been a busy man so far this season. Kamiakin quickly on the attack here as the ball's loose down on the Wenatchee end deep, and who's going to come up with it? The scamper there in the good job defensively by Charlie Jorgensen, who gets a stick down and gets a hold of it. They get it across midfield, does Wenatchee. Now it's close to going out of bounds, so just a swipe and a hit by Gilman to keep it inbounds. And now Kamiakin over there in the black jerseys with the orange numbers trying to battle for it, but Wenatchee will come up with it. See if the Wenatchee will be able to do something in transition here as the ball is behind the net with Matthew Jobe being pestered by a long stick there. He'll toss it out to the left side to Theron Sorum, who's in. Now out top it comes to Owen Graves. Graves will run the offense as Wenatchee goes in a counterclockwise rotation around the goal. Back behind it goes into the net of Henry Nelson. Nelson will take it.
Setting up for a left-handed drive here.
And
gonna sink
he's got the left hand, and he shoots and scores. Beautiful job by Henry Nelson. Out of Kashmir, comes up with a goal for Wenatchee.
Yep, Henry has been playing this sport for a long time. Another one of those kids who came up with Carson Reiner, same age, both seniors this year. The kid has really demonstrated a full understanding of this sport. Right there, you saw him set up that that defender. He put it in his right hand, took one step that direction, switched to his left, and just put on the gas right to the cage.
Beautiful drive and methodical. I guess I could say that. It looked like he thought that one out real well before he made the move.
Oh, at this point, he's probably little thinking it's all reaction. We've been doing it for 6 years.
Sure.
Hopefully by now he knows how to set that drive up for that defender.
First quarter action, we play 4 quarters here at in lacrosse. And I'll refer to Thomas to get us kind of some lacrosse 101. There's a little difference this year in what we've done in the past as far as this face-off is concerned. The officials were telling me on the face-off, they can't put a knee down on the ground. That's a big change, right?
Yep, correct. So that's for player safety. What happens a lot on the ground is the ball gets contested, and the 2 players end up on the ground while 2 players from either team are converging inside. Those 2 on the knees are really, really left out to dry. If somebody comes in and tries to go for the ball or hit them and they're on their knees, very defenseless. Now they're not allowed to put their knees down, so they're on their feet the entire time. A lot more safer, and they're able to get to their feet and defend themselves easier.
And the goal also, according to the officials, was to get that ball out sooner.
Correct.
And get play going.
Yep, so that the 2 players aren't falling on top of it, laying on it as 2 people are sprinting in from the ends.
Tim Mon has the ball out top here for Kamiakin. He'll get it up and give it to Zach Bort. Look out for him. He's their lead scorer coming in. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist on the season. He'll back it up near midfield here as Kamiakin will kind of reset the offense. Looks like Wenatchee's kind of in a man here, but they pick him up double-teamed as he comes across. Now over on the left side, we're going to get a flag here and a shot taken on goal. It hit the upright on the right and bounces out, but I believe we're going to get a penalty here against Wenatchee, so we'll have a man advantage for Kamiakin.
It looks like number 2, August Kreider, got his stick up a little too high on his offensive player. As the offensive player drove, he made contact with the head. Easy call for the ref.
Is it easier to foul when you've got the long stick?
In essence, depends on what kind of foul you're throwing. So
Sure.
One-handed checks with the short stick, also equally as dangerous as far as misplacing your check. But then defense, yes, you do have more of a stick to deal with. So as you come out and play defense, your stick's in the air trying to deflect passes. It comes down aiming for their hands and getting on their hips. And as that happened, August accidentally cut the guy in the head.
So it's a man advantage here for Kamiakin, but Wenatchee does a good job of stepping in, and Andrew Mathena came up with a loose ball in front and gets it out towards midfield. The ball is loose on the ground. That's a ground ball, and they keep track of those stats, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. As coming up with it is Captain Osborne. Boy, you got to love that name, huh?
Heck of a name. He should be, I mean, is he not in Star Trek captaining the Enterprise? Captain Osborne is not the same as Captain Kirk. Get out of here.
Zach Bort has it on the right wing right now. He'll go center, and a tough shot there, but it's just a little bit wide to the left off of the shot by Tim Mon. Think of Vaughn, and it's just an M instead of the V. Aughan. Kamiakin continuing on the man advantage here. Was that just a 1 minute penalty or 2 minutes?
I believe that from what I saw, I would see it was a 1 minute, but I did not see the ref hold up his finger, so I would assume 1 minute.
2-0 our score. A little mishandle out top, but coming up back with it is Tim Mon as he gets it to Bort. Bort, the ball shot by him, and then comes up into Carson Reiner's stick, and he'll get it out towards midfield. Picked up there nicely by Nelson. Watch Henry Nelson on the attack. He'll give and go, and then the shot, and good. Kenny Gilman, or KJ as they call him, comes up with the goal.
Yep, simple give and go. Henry knows what he's doing, like we said. Rarely even thinking anymore, just reactionary. Kenny knew where he needed to be. Henry knew that he was going to have an easy dump if he just drew the slide. Run down the field until somebody moves towards it, hit the guy that he moved from.
So Nelson with the assist, and Gilman with the goal, and Wenatchee shorthanded goal there. 3-0 the score with Wenatchee on top, and we get a timeout on the field. We'll take a 30-second break as well. You're watching Lacrosse Today here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast of high school lacrosse here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Biosports Physical Therapy. Find them online at biosports.net. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also by Charter College. They work to get you to work. Find out about how to enroll today at chartercollege.edu. 3 goals so far, all by Wenatchee, as they jump out over Kamiakin here midway through the first period. Vander Schalie with a goal at the 11:09 mark. Henry Nelson at the 8:32 mark, and just moments ago, KJ Gilman with his first goal of the day at the 6:09 mark, as Wenatchee is leading it 3-0. Along with Thomas Bass, Eric Granstrom with you here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Now, this is a question I don't know the answer to, so I'll ask you, Thomas. How many timeouts does the team get, and is it per game or per half?
2 timeouts per half.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So the similarities between this sport and other sports, hockey probably most directly, because you're with a stick and you've got a ball/puck and you're shooting in a net that's not very big. You've got a goalie on either side. Numbers a little bit less, but you can exchange players on the fly. So similar to a line change coming over the board, they just come off the sideline. The good face-off here by Charlie Jorgensen once again. He's won, I think, 3 out of the 4 face-offs here so far in this game, as substituting in is Vander Schalie. We've got a flag coming in, and this could be is this a substitution infraction, possibly?
I am not sure, but because the flag is down... Nope, here we go.
I didn't see any contact made.
Me either, but because the refs originally started to let the play go on, I was assuming it was against the defense. If there is a flag down, the offense has the opportunity to get a goal out of it and one, if you will, just like in basketball.
Sure. Okay. Well, and off the field comes Zach Martin, one of 2 twins here for Kamiakin. And I don't see, well, it looks like Vander Schalie is going to come to the sideline as well. So it'll be Kamiakin ball here.
So I'm assuming that there's too many men on the field, or that there was an offside situation, if that's the way that they were going to let the flag down.
Okay.
They just blew the whistle a little late after the flag hit the ground.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So it's Kamiakin ball here after the basically infraction against Wenatchee and the turnover. So Kamiakin has it as Tyler Martin, one of 2 twins playing for the Braves. I talked to their mom before the contest here today. She helped me out with a lot of the pronunciations and starters and such here for the Braves. Back behind the net is Carter White, a sophomore attacker. And he tried to flip it out to the side and try to find their lead scorer, Zach Bort, but that pass errant and goes out of bounds, so a turnover. And Wenatchee will come up with it. And then Wenatchee gives it right back on a pass up the near sideline. Right to Zach Bort, but he I think is one of those kind of like in football where the receiver turns to run with the ball before he had it. Kind of a similar thing there for Wenatchee.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Andrew Mathena had a really good play at X there, really hassling the bottom hand of that player, sending that ball errant, like you said, but Wenatchee unable to capitalize as they throw it out of bounds in the ensuing clear.
Ty Weeks quickly took a shot, but it was skipping harmlessly in front of the goal mouth and over to the far sideline, and it will remain Kamiakin ball here as our time winds down. 5:04 to go. Well, the clock's not moving, so they need to start the clock here. But the attack by Tyler Martin on the left side. He'll come out top and then get it to Bort. Bort quickly shoots, but that will skip off of defender in front, Luke Smith. Smith got his stick down, and that glanced off of his stick, so Carson Reiner didn't even have to defend that one. Another substitution here for Wenatchee coming into the contest is Charlie Jorgensen. Help out on the defensive side here as the ball is in the racket of Tim Mon. They'll go left and then behind, and then dropping it to the ground momentarily was Carter White back there. Work it out front. Bort has it. He'll back it away, and they'll reset the offense here for Kamiakin.
This is good possession for Kamiakin. Getting their defense a rest, holding the ball for a few minutes here is really what they need. Even if they don't get a goal, this is still a good possession.
Here's another shot by Bort. It will sail wide left. Reiner took a look at it, but it sails out of bounds. And again, the end line here on both ends of the field, the ball crossing the end line on a shot, whomever is closest to the end line when that ball goes across the end line, then that's which team will maintain possession. So if it's the offense that's closest to the end line after they shoot, then it is theirs to keep. And, boy, there's a great defensive play there for Wenatchee. Who was that stepping in and knocking that ball down?
I believe that was Matthew Mathena. We talked about him just earlier, and then Carson making a great stick side save on a very close shot.
Jorgensen has it. He'll wing it to head as they'll work it around the right side. Matthew Jobe down there. And he'll go behind the net to Henry Nelson. We've already seen his prowess of handling that ball back there for Wenatchee. He'll come outside with it to Vander Schalie. Little two-man game on the left as then Henry Nelson will keep it again. Here comes Nelson with a step, a pivot, a shot. It goes wide, just barely, and it'll be Wenatchee ball.
Yeah, that two-man game is very important on offense. Setting a pick and roll, just like in basketball. A give and go, just like in basketball. Any of those things. If to your point earlier, you said that the similarity between sports. I like to think of lacrosse as basketball and hockey, but played on a soccer field.
Wenatchee working the offense. Vander Schalie with a move right, then come back left. His shot a little bit high. It'll scamper out of bounds, but right there closest to it is Kenny Gilman, or KJ, and so he'll collect it. Now tell me about restarts, because the officials also said that there's a change a little bit this year with restarts.
Yep, so the idea is that as soon as the players establish themselves as an offensive player inbounds, the referee has the ability to get the game started again. That's to increase the speed of the game and allow quicker restarts, more action, less time standing around.
Jorgensen with a nice drive for Wenatchee, and kind of put the brakes on there about 4 yards in front of the goal mouth and softly tried to deliver it home, but it goes a little bit high. Now a pass out top a little bit high, and then it's picked up by Kamiakin here as the Braves will try to work it out towards midfield. Captain Osborne has it. He's a big fella out there. He'll come near side with it to Stevens. They still need to get it across the midfield stripe, but they don't. Wenatchee gets it back. Stepping in to take control is Matthew Jobe. Jobe will step inside the box, and then you'll see him peel out, and then he'll find some help out back as Jorgensen has it. Charlie, with nobody within 7-8 yards of him, will wing it to the left side to Nelson. Henry working against a man, fakes left, comes back right, shoots, and, ooh, boy, almost got in there, but a nice stop by the goalie again, Logan Osler. Been a busy guy here so far in this one.
Oh, and I expect him to be, especially with Wenatchee's high-powered offense and the fact that the defense from last year graduated all seniors. All three of them started.
Curry Bond got it across midfield on a loose ball out to midfield and quickly takes it in for the shot, but no. It's denied again by Carson Reiner, and he will toss it out towards midfield where Charlie Jorgensen will collect it, get it across the midfield stripe, head towards that 30-yard line blue box, and then slow things down just a little bit to collect his breath. Matthew Jobe with it now as we're at the minute 23 left here in this first quarter. Wenatchee on top, 3-0. Vander Schalie will come outside with the ball to Luke Smith. Kind of a corner game for Wenatchee right now. He'll go right with it to Jorgensen. Jorgensen backs away from the defense. Now he'll attack, and he got knocked down, slid down, and then comes back up. Is able to maintain possession, however. Now the ball loose on the ground, but then picking it up is Luke Smith, and he will give it up here to Kamiakin. Boy, there's been some physical play for Wenatchee so far in this one. Kamiakin on the drive, and Zach Bort is the man to watch right now as he has it outside the 20-yard marker here for Kamiakin as they'll get the bodies in that they need as Tim Mon will come back off the bench, and we're about out of time here, under 30 seconds to go in this first quarter of play. Kamiakin on the left. You can certainly see teams and their tendencies on what they like. It seems Kamiakin has been more attacking from the right side than the left, but here's a drive, as soon as I say that, by Tim Mon, and then he'll shoot, and this one's high again. Kamiakin will maintain possession. 14.9 seconds to go as they'll restart the clock and restart the game, and a nice pass out front. The shot, though, Reiner's there once again. How about that?
Yep, Carson Reiner's a heck of a goalie. He knows what he's doing out there. He gets that ball up to the top right. Quick transition, getting it out of his stick. Goalies don't like the ball.
And Wenatchee got it across midfield, but will not get a chance for a shot before the quarter comes to an end, and Wenatchee will head to our second quarter of play here against Kamiakin, enjoying a 3-0 lead. We will take a 60-second break and come back. You're watching Wenatchee and Kamiakin Lacrosse today here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
3-0 after the first quarter is our score, with Wenatchee on top of Kamiakin. You're watching lacrosse today here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Notes coming up on Tuesday. Baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel as Eastmont hosts Moses Lake and Big 9 play. We'll have that live on Facebook at 4 o'clock and then replayed on TV at 7. I'll be along with Grant Olson on the play-by-play. Next Friday, Eastmont and Wenatchee boys soccer right here from Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have the action on the first go-around between the two schools. That'll be next Friday at 7 o'clock. Our next lacrosse game here on the television station won't be until May 4th, Sela at Wenatchee. So we've got a little gap. No, quite a big gap between this one today and our next one coming up in May. And Thomas Bass, I appreciate you being part of our broadcast here today and bringing your wealth of knowledge up to the booth to help describe what's going on. I think the biggest thing for probably non-fans or those that might be tuning in for the first time, hard to follow the ball. It's not easy to see. What's your suggestion for those watching? And then this also goes to our camera folks as well. For who's got the ball? That's the hardest one that I've come to adjust to as far as who's got the ball. What do you look for of somebody who's cradling that ball?
Well, the best way to decide that is where the defense is. If you lost track of the ball, the goalie knows where it's at, or at least they better. Right? So
you hope.
The goalie is calling it out constantly. He's telling his defense if it's top right, top left, ball left, right, or behind cage. So what you're looking for is where the defense is sloughed off of their offensive player.
Okay.
So the side that has the ball, all the defenders are a lot closer to their offensive player.
Okay.
If it's on the right side of the field, the left side defenders are closer to the middle of the field, away from their offensive player.
Gotcha.
Vice versa. As the ball moves to the left side, right side shifts over, covers the middle, left side goes to the left side.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. 3 goals in this one so far, all for the team in white, trimmed in black. That is Wenatchee. So home squad enjoying this sun-splashed afternoon. A little high cloudiness, but a warm day. Boy, one of our warmest days of the year so far. And, the officials are out there in shorts, along with many of the players as well. So why not enjoy the sunshine here today? And hope you're enjoying our broadcast as we get ready for the start of our second quarter. Face-off to start each quarter, correct?
Yep, after every goal and to start each quarter.
Okay, so Jorgensen will be out there for Wenatchee. And let's see who he goes up against. It'll be a long stick. Now, how often do you see that? Zach Martin will be handling the face-off here. How often do you see a long stick out there for the face-off?
Well, so by rule, each team is only allowed to have 4 long sticks on the field. So your 3 close defensive players stay on the field the majority of the time. And then you have what's called an LSM, a long stick midi. Now, the whole point of that generally is to have them come off the wing and have extra reach for that ball as it goes out to the side. But if you've got a really, really talented, fast-handed long stick, why not put him right on the ball and let him play defense, fight for that ball right off the get-go instead of off the edge?
Well, off that face-off, the ball was loose for several moments and then picked up by Wenatchee, and it will come out to midfield as it's picked up there by Vander Schalie, as he had to collect it off of the turf here at Lee Bofto Field. Didn't know if he was going to set up the offense. No, he just takes a shot, and it is cradled right into the stick of Logan Osler, the goalie here for Kamiakin. Toss out towards midfield is loose on the ground, and this ground ball is going to be picked up by Jorgensen. Charlie does a nice job handling that, but his pass is stolen away by Bort. Bort fakes the pass, will come into the box and then peel away and then be pestered there by the defense of Henry Nelson before he gets a little help off the bench as Logan Howard will come in. So, too, will Ty Weeks here for Kamiakin.
And Henry made a good play there. Vander Schalie was out of position. Henry playing attack, Vander Schalie playing midi. Vander Schalie taking that shot and being well in front of Henry. Henry making a good play by telling him to stay on the attack side of the ball, letting him go play midfield to make sure that there was no fast break.
Tim Mon will go behind net to Carter White as he's picked up there by the defense of Wenatchee, and pestering back there is Andrew Mathena. He's done a good job of this game so far with his defensive skills. They come back out top to Zach Bort. Again, Bort with 4 goals on the season. As Kamiakin comes in today 0-2, they fell to Richland 9-4, and then lost to Chiawana 10-6 all this past week.
And that's the matchup I want to see all day. It's the number 1 offensive player versus their long stick midi in Cadell. Cadell has been a great player, and he's very undersized, but that kid has his feet in front of his offensive player, making all the right moves.
We're going to have a foul here against Wenatchee, I believe. The official's flag came out as Bort was trying to make a move out in front of the goal about 15 yards out and had a stick come up high. And so it is, or they're going to call it a hold, I believe I heard the officials say. And so this whistle comes against Charlie Jorgensen. So he will have to sit out for about a minute. So another man advantage here for Kamiakin. But so far on this, Wenatchee, in fact, pretty darn good. The time they were down a man, they scored a goal.
That's true.
Earlier in this contest. 3-0, Wenatchee on top. As outside is Tyler Martin. He'll go left side. Right there on the edge of the goal is perched nicely Logan Howard, and he'll flick it in for the first goal of the game here for Kamiakin. So that makes it 3-1.
Yep, that man-down rotation was just a hair late, and that's the whole idea. Kamiakin is trying to create a 2-on-1 situation. 2 offensive players in the zone of one of the defensive players. That offensive player on the assist drug his defender up high. August Kreider had to come across the middle and cover. He was just a hair late in and out of the stick for the goal.
So the goal for Kamiakin shaves the lead by a third. It's now 3-1, Wenatchee on top. So they take advantage of that man advantage and get their first tally of the game. Now, similar to hockey, when the opposition to the penalty scores, that erases the rest of that penalty? So
yes.
we go even strength at that point?
Yes, unless a penalty is deemed unreleasable or non-releasable. That's usually reserved for unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal targeting of the head, anything that's excessive.
Oh, and we're going to get another penalty, and guess who? Against Jorgensen again, as he wrapped around that stick and whacked at the man with the ball, Zach Martin.
Now, those one-handed checks are technically legal. What is illegal is if you don't have a chance at the stick. You can make a check. You can do all kinds of things to try and disrupt the ball, but you have to be making a clear attempt at the stick. If you throw that one-handed check, it wraps around and makes contact with the head or the back or in the leg and isn't even close to the stick, it's going to be a penalty.
Bort made the attempt at a shot. And I said Jorgensen, I apologize. It's actually Matthew Jobe who will have to sit on the sideline. So Wenatchee again down a man. We'll see if Kamiakin can take advantage. 9:11 to go here in the first half. We will have a halftime break coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel. So Kamiakin with the ball, and they'll bring it out top with the man advantage. So let's see what happens here as they work it around the perimeter, and that was not a shot, so that's a turnover, and that's the difference we should point out, too, for folks that aren't used to watching lacrosse. The only way that you can maintain possession on the end line is if you're actually taking a shot on goal, correct?
Correct. So it also applies to the sidelines. If it's deemed a shot by the referee, then whoever's closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds maintains possession.
Now, that was actually an attempt at a pass by Kamiakin, and it goes across the end line, so that is a turnover, and Wenatchee gets the ball here. Vander Schalie has it in his stick as he comes back right to it, and he will flick it across over to Luke Smith. They'll work it down in the corner as Matthew Jobe is back in play here. Gilman back behind the nets, back to Jobe. They do a little rotation back there.
Wenatchee back at full strength after the penalty has been cleared.
Jobe outside, it comes to Vander Schalie. Vander Schalie had 2 guys on him, and that's probably a good idea by Kamiakin. And now an attempt at a shot. It kind of hit a body as it went through off of Matthew Jobe's stick. And this will be what?
Not sure. I know Matthew Jobe, it looked like was trying to feed the crease. It looked like Charlie Jorgensen was sitting there, not exactly open, Matt trying to force it through there.
I believe we're going to get a penalty against Kamiakin, possibly. Let's see. They send the Kamiakin Brave over, and they're going to say offsides, and this is on Tyler Martin. And so for the first time here in the game, Wenatchee will be on the advantage here. So you'll have to help us out as we watch the offense here for Wenatchee. They'll work it back behind the net to Jobe. Jobe will work it around as they kind of get a little tighter. Now here's Vander Schalie with the shot, but a good stop again here by the goalie, Logan Ostler. So tell me about offsides. How does that work?
So the defensive side of the ball has to maintain 4 people on their side of the field, as in 3 D-poles and a goalie. Offense has to maintain 3. As you see as the teams move up and down the field, there are 3 players that are stuck at the midline. Those players are not allowed to cross the midline. If they want to, one of the other people has to come back and take their place. Then they can carry over. What happened to Kamiakin is that one of their offensive players from the other side of the ball dropped in on defense, leaving only 2 back illegal.
Okay, so that's the offsides call. So Kamiakin now with the ball with 7:09 to go here in the first half, trailing it by a score of 3-1. Tyler Martin with the ball behind the net as he waits for bodies to shuffle out front to see what he wants to do here. Kind of like a guard setting the offense in basketball. As he will approach Vander Schalie, he'll toss it out, and the ball skips off of the stick of his intended target, Curran Bond. And Kamiakin will collect it back here, but this pass is errant and will go out of bounds. It should be a Wenatchee ball. It is.
Yep, and that was a great look by Kamiakin. They had 2 people slide for Wenatchee to cover the ball, leaving somebody wide open on crease. It's a bummer that he wasn't able to handle that ball and challenge Carson for a goal.
Wenatchee makes a substitution as Luke Smith comes back out onto the field. Wenatchee gets it across midfield, and again, they get 20 seconds to get it from one end down to the other. 10 seconds once they get it across midfield. There's Vander Schalie with a shot and a goal. Wow. Little give and go there. I think it was Jorgensen who fed him. And Vander Schalie with his second goal of the game, and Wenatchee's back up by a score of 4-1.
That's the thing when that kid can turn on the Jets that quickly. That defense has to be ready. That foot speed, that ability to go from 10% to 100, that's what Vander Schalie does better than anybody I've seen.
The goal comes at the 6:25 mark here of the second quarter. And again, it was Jorgensen on the assist. Wenatchee up 4-1 here over Kamiakin at the Apple Bowl today. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Confluence Health. High-quality care close to home. Confluence Health dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high-quality care in 12 communities. Jorgensen out there to do the face-off, along with Zach Martin for Kamiakin, and we get a double whistle here, and they're going to say that was illegal against Kamiakin, apparently. The official reached out and grabbed his wrist on that face-off. Thomas, what is that?
So that was holding. So
okay.
With a stick, you are allowed to have your stick resting on a player or at least making contact with them if they don't have the ball, but you are not allowed to use it as a means of a barrier. You're not allowed to hook them or use it as a means of withholding their progress towards the goal.
Gotcha. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a 30-second break as well with Wenatchee on top, 4-1 over Kamiakin. You're watching boys lacrosse today here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
At the Les Schwab Spring Tire Sale, save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
Welcome back once again here to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, along with Thomas Bass. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. As Wenatchee holds a 4-1 lead, and for those that are not used to watching lacrosse, Thomas, 4-1 lead is nothing in lacrosse, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because the scoring can come fast and furious.
Oh, my goodness. One of my favorite moments in Wenatchee lacrosse was when, I believe it was Nicholas McCarthy. He scored 3 goals by himself in 45 seconds. The way it came down, off the face-off, his brother hit him for 1, right in. His brother won the face-off again, shot off of it, hit the goalie in the chest. Nick picked it up and dumped it in. And then it was another give and go from I believe it was Austin Schmaltz, who hit him from an attack position right in front of the cage again.
Wow.
3 goals, 45 seconds.
Wow.
I believe it's the fastest in Wenatchee history.
That's impressive. All right, so here we go. Jorgensen will have it here for Wenatchee to start this play after the timeout by Wenatchee. 4-1 our score. And I'm serious. We got to work on a mascot for Wenatchee. I mean, Kamiakin, they are going by the Braves, since that is their high school that they represent mostly. They do have a couple of players out of Southridge, and I know they open it to others. The ball out front here, Jorgensen kind of lost the eye on it, and it's loose, ground ball, and who's going to come up with it? It will be Wenatchee. Nice job scampering for it by Henry Nelson. See if Nelson makes this, takes advantage with bodies out of sync here for Kamiakin. Boy, a good defensive play back behind the goal, knocking it away from Kenny Gilman. But Wenatchee able to come up with that loose ball again as Matthew Jobe has it for the Wenatchee. Again, no mascot. So we have to rectify that. We got to have a vote. We got to have a public thing on Facebook or something, because we got to come up with a mascot.
I mean, we can do that. We want to spitball a few here?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Well, see, they go black and white. We could call them the Raiders, I suppose.
Not bad. There's a fall team is called the Tribe often.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I've always liked that name. It's a sweet logo.
Why did we go away from the Thunder exactly?
I don't believe I understand fully. It might be licensing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Gotcha. Turnover for Wenatchee. Kamiakin comes up with the ball as they get bodies switched out here. Logan Howard will come off the bench, and he will collect the ball after a bounce pass to him. Not probably what they intended to do on that particular pass, but he's able to handle it off the turf. Now, Kamiakin plays their home games at Desert Hills Middle School, and here's a shot in front, and this will skip a little bit to the left of the goal mouth, and good job again, Carson Reiner just holding his position there. And I assume Desert Hills Middle School's got to be natural grass down in the Tri-Cities, so it's quite a difference, isn't there, between playing on grass and playing here on the turf?
Oh, it's impossible. It's so much like football or anything else. The game's going to be faster on turf, but unlike in football, when the ball hits the ground in lacrosse, it's still live. You do have to play the turf. If you've got uneven grass or divots in there.
And that's got to make really getting those ground balls tough.
Yes, absolutely. It's a completely different game, especially when you're shooting a bounce shot against a goalie like this.
Here's a shot taken by Tyler Martin. And, boy, he put some nifty moves on there, but that was good defense by, I think it was August Kreider, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was giving him a fit. And Kreider, it's the man-on-man game there. So Kamiakin will maintain possession, but the pass out to the right is a little errant. Braves do pick it up. As it's Tim Mon behind the net. He's picked up there by Henry Kreider. Looking for some help right out front, but a good job by Jorgensen to kind of post up there and keep the ball away from, I think that was Carter White in the middle. And the two will have a conversation as they go side by side back up the field as Wenatchee gets possession here as it went out of bounds on the far side. Wenatchee quickly in. Oh, man, that shot just missing left. Not by just a few inches. Luke Smith with the shot here for Wenatchee.
Yeah, Luke pulling up, taking a big shot. I like the look. Nobody came to play him. He had his hands free. He was about 5 yards inside the box. He was ready to go help and just missed it a little wide.
Wyatt Schaefer, the head coach for Kamiakin, breathing a sigh of relief after that shot. And again, Kamiakin will turn the ball over. That's got to be, 4 or 5 turnovers at least here in the first half here for the Braves out of the Tri-Cities. 3:11 to go here in this first half of play. Wenatchee back on the attack, and here's a shot, but a nice job of getting the stick out in front of it by Osler. Will keep it from giving Wenatchee a tally as he'll wing it out to the left. The ball skips away from one Brave, but right into the stick of another. As picking it up, Benson Stevens will get it across into the box, but then lose the handle. It's loose on the ground. Wenatchee going to get on this one as August Kreider will pick it up. Kreider gives it up to Reiner. Reiner gets it out towards midfield. Wenatchee does a good job in transition here as Theron Sorum is out there with the ball momentarily for Wenatchee.
The one thing that Kamiakin has to get used to is going back to your grass and turf discussion. When that ball hits the ground, it's going out of bounds here. In grass, that ball isn't going to move as much. It's going to slow down, get caught before it goes to the end line. That's why you're seeing Kamiakin give up maybe a little more turnovers than you would see in any of the other games.
Boy, and sometimes you see that ball actually speed up after it hits the ground.
Yes, on the second bounce, I train all my goalies this way. On a low shot, that ball has has backspin on the first bounce and topspin on the second bounce.
Vander Schalie again with the goal for Wenatchee, his third of the afternoon, as he got a nice screen out in front, worked off that screen, and those bodies, I think, got into the vision of Logan Osler, the goalie for Kamiakin, and Wenatchee now leads it 5-1.
Yep, Vander Schalie just taking advantage of the opportunity. Nobody slid to him. You got to get hands on stick, or you got to stick on hands, I should say. Got to get your body on their body. Nobody did it. Vander Schalie, easy goal.
So Vander Schalie with his third of the afternoon, and Wenatchee now up 5-1 with 1:57 to go. Boy, in a tight game like this, too, I know that it's slanted heavily in favor of Wenatchee right now. But how big is that also right before the break, right before halftime, to get a goal like that?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, it just is a demoralization thing. Going into the half with momentum, even though momentum is, neither here nor there as far as quantifiable, it feels like it on the sideline. Your team gets hyped up, your goalie gets amped, especially if you can make a play right at the end. It really helps your team going into
Kamiakin going to talk it over here as we get a timeout on the field with 1:48 to go here in this first half. We'll take a 30-second break on our broadcast as well. First, let me remind you that our broadcast here are in part brought to you by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, providing heating and air conditioning service, installation, and repair since 1982. Serving residential and commercial, they specialize in indoor air quality. We'll come back. It's minute 48 to go here in the half. 5-1, Wenatchee on top of Kamiakin. You're watching Boys Lacrosse on the NCWLIFE Channel.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious? No, he's not. Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Our broadcast of lacrosse here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their number one priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pickup and drop-off available too. Stop by their website at globalcarcare.net. Along with Thomas Bass, Eric Granstrom here on a hazy sunny day. Beautiful warm weather. Not much of a breeze even to speak of. Good day to get out on the golf course, for goodness sakes. Minute 48 to go here in the half. 5-1 our score is. We're enjoying lacrosse here. Third game of the season for both of these teams. Wenatchee coming in at 1-1, having lost a tough one last night to Richland. 12-8 was the final. They won earlier this week on Monday over Sela, 14-8. So the first home game of the year for Wenatchee's varsity team. Thomas coaching the younger kids, fifth, seventh. What year are you coaching?
The 7th, 8th grade.
7th, 8th grade. So middle school.
Yep.
For Wenatchee. Would you know total number of bodies in lacrosse in Wenatchee? Between all of the sports?
At least 20 per team would be a pretty good estimation.
Wow.
So
wow. That's impressive.
4 or 5 different teams.
Vander Schalie again with a shot here. It goes a little bit high, but back there close to the end line was Matthew Jobe. So Wenatchee will maintain possession, and Jobe will start things off, gets the wave from the official. So he will come out around the right side of the goal, near sideline here. Bring it back out top to Jorgensen, and he'll go left to Vander Schalie again. Vander Schalie this time will go left around the defense. Cut off there nicely by Kamiakin this time, so he'll give it to the back post. And, looking for Jorgensen on the cut. And that was a good idea. And I think the pass was by Henry Nelson. It's chased down here near midfield for Wenatchee by Owen Graves. Right side it goes to Jobe. Jobe back behind, and again they'll work it back around counterclockwise around this goal here. As Nelson, he looked at maybe a shot and then lost the handle, and now it's picked up on that loose ball here by Kamiakin. And we got a flag down. Goodness. All right, it looks like another penalty coming against Wenatchee with 29 seconds left here in this first half of play. Kamiakin given the opportunity to score, and they shoot, but it goes a little bit high off of the stick of Tyler Martin. Let's see what our penalty is here.
Yeah, that's going to be a slash on number 3, Henry Nelson. That again, those one-handed checks, they aren't illegal, but they do need to make contact with the stick. Looked like he didn't have a very good angle on the stick. Dove, good hustle, trying for it, not ultimately a smart play. He's going to the box.
Maybe a little frustration there, too, because he was the man that looked like he was going to try to make a shot for Wenatchee. So the rest of this period will be Kamiakin up a man. Wenatchee makes some substitutions. Cadell Velasquez comes out there on the defensive side. He'll get some help from Owen Graves, who settle in. So I assume with the man down, you kind of want to crowd around the net, maybe sink in a little bit?
Absolutely. You are in stall mode. You are just waiting for the cavalry to arrive. But the unfortunate thing for Wenatchee here is that if you keep possession and there's a penalty on the other team, there is no face-off in the ensuing quarter. If Kamiakin holds the ball, which looks like they will, they're just going to start with the ball in the second half, no face-off.
Okay. And do they start a man up as well? Does that penalty continue?
Yes, they will.
Okay. All right. So that's look like how we're ending the first half of play, where the Wenatchee lacrosse team leads Kamiakin here at halftime by a score of 5-1. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel, as that period was 2-1 in favor of Wenatchee over Kamiakin. We'll come back and kind of rehash that first half and have more here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl at halftime. Our broadcast here brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously every time you stop by. Back with more here at half as Wenatchee leads Kamiakin at the break 5-1. You're watching lacrosse on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCWLIFE. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
It's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand and Succession wines to North Central Washington. There's a huge market here and market potential that NCWLIFE is able to help us capture, spread who we are, and tell the world about what Succession does, and they are a great avenue for that.
Welcome back once again here to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channels. We're at halftime where the Wenatchee team leads Kamiakin by a score of 5-1. Thomas Bass joining us here as he was down getting some stats on the sidelines. I'll let you catch your breath a little bit, although you're quite in shape, so you wouldn't have to worry about that probably. First score of the game came early on as Wenatchee got on the board quickly. Andrew Vander Schalie scored the first of his 3 goals in that first half at the 11:09 mark. Got a nice feed from Jobe. And that made it 1-0, as that would be kind of a theme starting in that first half here for Wenatchee. Henry Nelson would score the second goal as he came around the left side of the goal, if you will, and just made a nice move and was able to get the back of the net. 8:32 was the time of the goal in that first period. It meant to put Wenatchee up by a score of 2-0. Wenatchee expanded that lead to 3-0 before it would be all said and done in that first period. KJ Gilman found the back of the net for Wenatchee. He got a nice feed from Nelson, Henry Nelson on the assist, and Wenatchee up 3-0. That's where the score would end in that first period and head to the second. And the second, it would be the opposing team to get on the board first. They take advantage of a man advantage where Wenatchee actually scored a shorthanded goal in that first period. It would be Logan Howard who would find the back of the net on that man advantage at the 9:43 mark of the second quarter. And that made it 3-1. Wenatchee would get 2 more goals in that second quarter, both from Andrew Vander Schalie, who just turned on the gas. 6:25, the time of his second goal of the day. That made it 4-1 with a feed from Jorgensen. And then his last goal came at the minute 57 mark, right before the end of the half, and that gives us our score here at halftime by that 5-1 margin. Thomas Bass joining us here on the broadcast. And Thomas, ground balls, a big factor. That really shows how your team is hustling, right?
Yes.
Oop, here we go.
Yes,
there we go.
Generally indicative.
Oh, I turned you down. There you go.
There you go. We back?
Yeah, you're
there. You are. Awesome. Yes, it's generally indicative of the hustle of the game, right? The ball hits the ground, multiple people are going after it. It's about who wants to come up with it and maintain possession. Just like in basketball, hockey, soccer, anything. A lot of the time, the team that wins possession is going to be leading in goals. And right now, we have Kamiakin with 14 ground balls, Wenatchee with 18, meaning that they are maintaining possession. When that ball hits the ground, it's coming up Wenatchee.
There's also been a desperate difference in the game so far on the shots on goal. I don't have those stats in front of me here, but the number of shots, and you talked about this, very aggressive Wenatchee offense has certainly given their goalie, Logan Osler, a lot to deal with here so far today.
Yep, and that's what Wenatchee's going to need to do. They have a lot of high-powered offensive guys and then a bunch of fresh faces on defense. Carson Reiner, obviously in cage, very experienced, knows his defense, knows what's going on. But that clean slate of all fresh faces from starters last year really has a lot to prove.
Yeah, Carson Reiner for the Wenatchee team, senior, and certainly showing that experience makes a difference in goal, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, goalie is 90% mental. I know everybody says that, but you got to imagine a hockey goalie saving 90% of their goals, right? 90% of their shots. The best lacrosse goalies in the country are saving 60. So that ball is going past you every 2 or 3 times. It is really daunting. Like, oh man, I'm really bad at this. I can't catch this thing at all. The most important shot is the next one because, trust me, you're going to let in a lot more.
Well, and that's like folks that watch baseball. I mean, the worst thing you could do is be thinking about your previous at-bat.
Exactly.
When you come to your next at-bat. You just got to flush it and go on from there.
Yep. If you strike out 3 times in a game, you better believe that you're getting a hit in that 4th one. And if you let 3 goals pass in the 4th quarter, you know you're going to save the 4th one.
One thing about coming into this game today and the broadcast and talking with Thomas a little bit before we started, Carson came into this contest in 2 games so far this season, 18 for 37 in his save percentage, and you said right away, you went, he's much better than that.
Yes, I talked to the coaches down on the sideline, and they said in particular the last 3 goals against that Richland game were either him being screened or there was a rebound and then kind of kicked in the goal. Not indicative of Carson's ability. I've worked with Carson for 4 years now, and that kid's a Jedi.
Well, we are at halftime here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. 5-1 is our score, and so lots of lacrosse still to be played. We'll come back with more after this 2-minute break. Thanks for watching us here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Elling.
Our second half as Wenatchee holds a 5-1 lead here over Kamiakin. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel. With lacrosse today, we'll have baseball on Tuesday. We'll have boys soccer here at the Apple Bowl next Friday. Our next lacrosse match on the NCWLIFE Channel won't be for a couple of months in May, towards the end of the season for Wenatchee, May 4th. So if you're the coach for Kamiakin, first of all, Thomas Bass, Wyatt Schaefer, what are you telling your team at half? What do you want to see better in this second half?
Well, at this point, it comes down to possession. Right now, Wenatchee's winning the game in the ground balls. They are slowing down the ball on offense, taking good shots for the most part, making very meticulous passes, and being surgical with it. Kamiakin, if they want to keep up with that sort of offense, needs to slow the game down, needs to keep the ball out of that high-powered offense's hands. The whole thing that Wenatchee is able to do is score when they get the ball. If they don't have the ball, they can't score.
Good point. Good point. If you're Brandon Parker, what are you telling your crew here at halftime?
No more one-handed checks. They've been penalized.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. I mean, other than that, they've taken mostly smart shots. They've been hands-free inside the box for most of those. They are not hitting the goalie in the chest. They've got good backup. The only time that Kamiakin's been able to score is when they were man down, and Wenatchee's been man down twice for what I would call lazier play, not as technically sound by throwing those one-handed checks.
Well, speaking of being a man down, that's where Wenatchee should be, I think, here starting this third quarter, as we had a penalty with about a half a minute left in that second quarter. And so Kamiakin will have possession and a man up. So that'll be the task for Wenatchee defensively here, is to try to keep Kamiakin off the board for, I've got to believe it's about 25 seconds.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, this would be a big goal for Kamiakin. Coming off of that slow start, getting a goal right here, bringing this game back within 3 would really mean a lot, especially if they win the faceoff on the ensuing faceoff.
For our camera crew, the guy that's approaching from midfield with number 20 on his back, and a turn and a shot, just like that, bam, bam, score. As a beautiful feed from Tyler Martin, and whom did he find? It looks like number 30 that got the goal there. That'd be Curran Bond for Kamiakin, and suddenly it's a 5-2 game.
That's exactly what Kamiakin needed, something to get their blood pumping, their juices flowing, get their bell rung kicked in for the first half of this game. Getting back out there, getting a quick goal is exactly what they needed.
And you talk about quick goal, 7 seconds in to this second half.
Wouldn't be that surprising in any lacrosse game if there's another one within the next 10 seconds. Not saying that it's going to happen, but it does happen plenty.
So all-important face-off now for Wenatchee, as Charlie Jorgensen, who's won most of those here in this game so far, will go up against Zach Martin. And it will be Martin that has the ball for a moment. He goes to the ground, however. The ball comes out, and, physical play by Wenatchee. No flag down this time, as Matthew Jobe will have it back behind the net. He'll flick it across over to Henry Nelson. Nelson looking for a flash as he looked for Huntley, but couldn't find him. So they'll come out top to Vander Schalie. Vander Schalie with 3 goals in the game and make it 4 as it's in.
What about 22 seconds? I said 10? My bad.
Top shelf for Andrew Vander Schalie. And just like that, they give up a goal but get one quickly back, does Wenatchee.
Yeah, Vander Schalie, just big body, lots of speed. Like I said earlier, the kid's got crazy acceleration. He starts his drive by walking, and 3 steps later, he's going 25 miles an hour with an 85-mile-an-hour on-the-run shot. It is a very difficult guy to defend against.
Did you see who fed him for that? Was it Henry?
I did, but I wouldn't call that an assist.
Okay.
So an assist is generally considered 3 steps or an athletic move.
Okay.
So once you do 3 steps or make an athletic move, the assist is no longer from that. It is just a drive and a shot.
Okay. So that's a little bit more fair than some of the hockey goals I've seen where they give a guy that touched the puck like a minute and a half earlier.
Gotcha.
Gets an assist on the play.
Yeah, the defender working it up the side. It hits. It goes all the way around the boards. The guy stops in transition.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, and he still gets the assist.
Exactly. Wenatchee will get the ball here as it was lost out of bounds by Kamiakin. As on the far side, it's Matthew Jobe who works against a much taller, much thicker-bodied person, but the fleet-footed Jobe is able to get away from the defender. He'll give it up to Henry Nelson. Nelson works around a man, and now we'll flick it back, but then lose it out of bounds, and so this will be a turnover by Wenatchee. There hasn't been too many Wenatchee turnovers in this game so far.
No, not in particular. They're used to the turf. They know that if they miss a pass, the ball is going out of bounds. When you're on grass, it doesn't feel the same way.
Henry Nelson was close in there, and this pass will go 3/4 of the length of the field, and Kamiakin, boy, I thought he was just going to turn and go, but he doesn't, so Wenatchee comes up with the ball loose, and a nice job back there by August Kreider. He'll flick it ahead, but again, a little bit too high on the pass. It goes all the way to the goal mouth where Logan Osler picks it up. He'll run clear out towards midfield, and then it's defended there on the pass by Kreider. Loose on the far side. Got another loose ball over there, and it's picked up finally by Kamiakin.
This is the game that Kamiakin can't play right now. They need to settle the ball. It doesn't matter if they get a quick goal here. As we saw, if Wenatchee gets the ball back, they can score just as quickly. Kamiakin needs to settle the defense, settle their offense, and get their defense tired.
Bort with a shot from about 15, 18 yards out, and he will go wide right on that shot. Kamiakin near the inline, though, where the ball went out of bounds, and so it is their ball. Tim Mon will pass it out, and here's a shot, but right there, Carson Reiner scoops it up nicely on the shot from his left by Bort.
Yeah, again, the Wenatchee defense just isn't tired yet. That offense for Kamiakin just keeps shelling the goalie, throwing it out of bounds. That defense for Wenatchee is not getting gas at all, and they really need that to happen.
Boy, a big shove there by Kamiakin puts a Wenatchee player on the ground. Charlie Jorgensen goes down. Let's see if we're going to get a flag here in the process. It will be because, man, he just used that stick to shove him from behind. Curran Bond will have to take the sidelines here.
Mm-hmm. So that was a push with possession, a 30-second penalty. So the offensive player was hit in the back illegally but maintained possession, so the play went on until that ball went loose.
So Wenatchee ball after the penalty, and as Thomas just mentioned, just a 30-second variety. Vander Schalie will have it for Wenatchee when the official whistles it back into play here after the stoppage. He's near side, standing near that 30-yard mark here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Vander Schalie directing traffic with Henry Nelson. He'll flick it across over to the right side for Theron Sorum. They'll go back around behind the goal as Jobe has it and throws inside, and Vander Schalie right on the doorstep with a shot, but a nice stop by Osler.
Now that is a big save. As we've seen, Vander Schalie's already got 4 today right on the cage. That goalie is not expected to make that save. The fact that he did is just amazing.
Pass across. It goes off of a Brave and will skip out of bounds again. Another turnover, and there's another situation where that ball hit the turf and took off on them, and they're just not used to playing on this artificial surface.
He was about 1 yard behind it, realized it was going out of bounds, and it got away from him. He could have been there had he, been more used to it.
Vander Schalie will pass left side to Nelson. He'll go back behind again, this time to Jobe. And we're going to get a whistle and a timeout taken by Wenatchee. So apparently Brandon Parker is seeing something he's not too fond of out there, so he will ask for a little time to talk to his troops. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Harvest Valley Pest Control. You can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet safe material around your home or office. Call today for your free estimate. We'll come back. It's 8:44 to go here in the third. 6-2 is our score. Wenatchee on top of Kamiakin. You're watching boys lacrosse on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Well, the timeout taken by Brandon Parker. Thomas Bass, what do you think Coach is seeing out there that he obviously wants to make an adjustment?
I'm expecting that he's just trying to calm some high schoolers down. The ball's been going back and forth across that midline a lot here. Playing out of the game plan of Kamiakin, but what Parker's doing right now, I'm assuming, is getting his offense settled down, resituating where he wants his guys, what play he wants drawn up, just giving him a breather so that they can kill some time on this clock.
Looked kind of a frenetic pace, if you will. It looked like Gonzaga in the first half of that basketball game they lost the other day.
Oh, goodness.
Where there was a lot of turnovers. It was just back and forth, and nobody scoring.
Yeah.
Kind of out of control.
Yeah, my really good buddy is a graduate from Gonzaga. We were watching that game together, and he's tearing his hair out right now.
Yeah, that was tough to take. And, of course, blew my bracket completely up.
Oh, goodness. Yours wasn't blown up from
No,
Purdue
actually, I was doing pretty good before that. I had Gonzaga playing Arizona for the national championship, of course, in one night. Boom, done.
Yep.
That's it. No more. 8:44 to go after the timeout. It will be Kamiakin ball, I believe, as the timeout came as the Braves were collecting it back in their end. And so it will start down behind their goal area. And Wenatchee defending as it comes up. Tim Mon has it. He'll flick it out to the right side to Osborne, Captain Osborne. This ball is loose out in front of the Wenatchee net area. And giving it a little scoot was Andrew Mathena. Ball still loose on the ground. And Bort finally comes up with it for Kamiakin. He will pass it ahead, and a beautiful job of Kamiakin moving the ball around. And Wenatchee kind of got out of position here defensively and give the goal to the Braves, and that's Curran Bond, his second here in the second half.
Yep, offside high for Carson Reiner on the doorstep. I don't expect any goalie to make that save. If they do, they're amazing.
Well, and they had two bodies on either side there. They had them bracketed.
Really could have picked your poison on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, just a miscommunication and not being able to get back after a loose ground ball on top of the box.
So suddenly the lead is at 6-3. So Kamiakin coming out with a little authority here in the second half so far. So the official coming over talking to the sidelines here. Couldn't hear quite what he was saying, but in reference to post goal and face-off. Braves will have a different body on this face-off, as it'll be Tyler Martin out there. Or is it the same? At least he's got a different stick. I thought it was a long... No, okay, it was Zach Martin, who's been out there prior to that. So now Kamiakin comes up with the ball. And excuse me, I apologize. Yeah, no, it is Tyler Martin.
Yep.
That got it.
I'm sure nobody ever gets them mixed up.
The Twins, although if you look at them physically, and a beautiful stop there by Carson Reiner as Bort absolutely just rocketed one at him. Wenatchee comes up with the ball here as the outlet came to Jorgensen. He'll get it across midfield and then flick it off to Vander Schalie. And then to Henry Nelson. Back behind it goes for Wenatchee to Kenny Gilman. Gilman, we haven't called his name since early in that first half where he got a goal. He'll come back outside to Jorgensen. Jorgensen backs it away and now approaches, gets defended there. Will go right side to Sorum. Sorum back to Jorgensen. Wanted to go to the right side of the goal, but the ball is intercepted. Here comes Kamiakin again on the attack. And this is Curran Bond, who's already got 2 goals in the second half. And his pass will be errant left, and it will go over to Wenatchee on a turnover. And, boy, Wenatchee really needed that ball to be turned over right there.
That's correct. Kamiakin really missed a opportunity to capitalize. They had a fast break opportunity. The defense wasn't quite set up. Whoever that was on the wing who missed that pass low in handling it. Really had an opportunity to make a goal there, but that pass was too low.
Henry Nelson gets through the defense, shoots and scores. Beautiful drive by Henry Nelson. Just when you think things are momentum-wise shifting one direction, it comes back the other on the play by Henry Nelson.
That's why you got to love lacrosse. It's the fastest sport on 2 feet. Like I said, Henry, master of this sport, his first drive that he learned was driving from that right wing there, right-handed. He makes one little move, one little roll dodge, loses his first defender, gets rid of the ball before the second one can make contact.
Henry Nelson with his second goal of the day for Wenatchee. A big one there with 6:55 to go in the third quarter. 7-3 is our score now. Long way to go in this one, so don't you go anywhere. Jorgensen again on the face-off against Martin. Ball picked up by Martin for Kamiakin. He will get it across midfield. Martin up the sideline, gets it inside the box. Now feeds outside, it goes. As they'll work it around the horn here, Bort with it on the left. Now coming out will be Zach Martin. And into the game for Kamiakin comes Logan Howard. They slow pace down to get Howard back in the offensive set here. And Bort will take it back towards midfield.
Here Kamiakin putting 2 people on crease, trying to utilize the fact that their goalies, they can screen the goalie and then have 2 people to look for that can turn around and shoot quickly. Right
Another
there.
pass attempt right in front, ball loose on the surface here, and picked up by Kamiakin.
Still 2 guys on crease. That's just 2 more opportunities to hit somebody who's really close with a feed.
Ball goes, I thought, did it not go out of bounds?
No, it's the blue line, not the white one. It's
Okay.
very confusing. It's about 2 yards past the sidelines on the football field.
This one will go out of bounds, and that was a pass attempt, so yet another turnover by Kamiakin.
Yeah, Kamiakin looked like they were going to set it up well there and get a really good possession, but again, it's just unforced turnovers. It's just been killer for them this whole game.
Jacob Harrisek out there for Wenatchee had it momentarily, gave it back to Reiner. Now they'll go midfield with it to Vander Schalie. Vander Schalie quickly will go into the box and then look right side and wait for some help. Now gives it up to Jobe. Jobe to Nelson back behind the net. Wenatchee with 2 bodies about 10 yards in front of the goal. Nelson comes left side and quickly with a shot right there on the doorstep for Wenatchee is, who was that with a shot? Is that one of their, Jaron Larson, a freshman out of Eastbourne High School wearing number 20. So they said they might have a couple of their younger players come in and play, and that definitely the case right there with the youngster wearing number 20 with a shot for Wenatchee. Now back on the offensive attack is Kamiakin as they trail it 7-3. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Pass out top to Bort. 3 bodies out there, so that might mean somebody's open. They'll go right side with the ball to the goal side to Logan Howard. Now work it back around. Here's a slung shot, and did that go in? Or did it hit the side of the net? No, the official says yes, that went in. Another goal for Wenatchee, for Kamiakin by Tyler Martin.
Yeah, just one of those shots where I'm assuming Carson didn't have a good read on the ball. It was a low-to-low shot, so the offensive player reared back, let the ball go low around his ankles, and then it stayed low, nice and flat across the ground. Carson just wasn't ready for it.
So nice job of moving the ball around again here for the Kamiakin Braves as they work it to Tyler Martin, and he gets the goal with 4:35 to go here in this third quarter, and another timeout on the field. We have a long way to go in this one, folks. It's 7-4. We'll take a break and come back after this 30-second timeout on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
7-4 the score, 4:35 to go here in this third period, along with Thomas Bass, Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by One Way Construction, your project, your way. Find them online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Thomas Bass, what are you seeing out there for Wenatchee, or more importantly, what are you seeing for Kamiakin here in this second half?
Well, Kamiakin's been able to possess the ball just a little bit, still having an issue keeping it in the field of play and those unforced turnovers. But what I've noticed is that Kamiakin has put 2 people on crease and putting 4 people around the goal. Now, what that does is that, it makes the crease a little more condensed, but it gives more room for those people around the outside. They're setting up in what appears to be a 1-4-1, 1 player up on top of the box, 4 across the middle, and then 1 behind crease.
This time the faceoff is handled by Wenatchee, but then fumbled there at midfield as Velasquez had a hard time with it. Now he will finally control it and give it up to Luke Smith. Henry Nelson with it on the wing left. He'll give it back to Vander Schalie, who's been a little bit quiet here. Vander Schalie works against that defense, shoots and scores! Just as we talk about him being a little quiet, then he comes up with a beautiful bounce shot from the left side that gets by the goalie and into the back of the net.
Unfortunately for Kamiakin, they don't have a defender who can keep up with that speed and acceleration. If I were Kamiakin, I'd start doubling him early. If he's got the ball and he's driving, he's not done until he's shot.
That goal comes at the 4:05 mark, so just 30 seconds later does Wenatchee counter. And it seems, at least so far, that anytime Kamiakin has had an answer, Wenatchee has the answer back. And that in the form of Andrew Vander Schalie with his second goal here of the second half. He's got 5 on the day. How about that?
Yeah, and I would say this: 3 or 4 goals is a lot for a player in a game. If you get a hat trick through the course of a single game, that's plenty of goals. You are contributing a third of your goals, and there's 11 people on the field. Right now, Vander Schalie with 5, and he's probably going to get another one as we're entering the fourth quarter here in 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't be surprised if he has a double hat trick.
Wenatchee barely got it inside the box in that 10-second count as it got across midfield. They finally do, as they'll work the offense here back behind the net, go to Henry Nelson. Nelson looking for the man who's got the hot stick here today, Vander Schalie. Vander Schalie will retreat, go right side with it, and the pass to Jorgensen collected over there cleanly, picked up by Bort. He'll pass it down low on the right to Gilman. Gilman back behind the net, lost momentarily, but then picked up by Matthew Jobe, who'll give it up to Henry Nelson. Nelson picked up by Martin as he will go left, back right, back left, get by him, and then looking, didn't have any help, and the defense finally collects him there. And so he'll bring it back to Luke Smith. Smith hit hard, lost the ball. It's loose on the ground, and boy, Bort is really expressing himself physically here in this second half.
That's what he's got to do. I mean, if you need the ball back, or if you're down by 4, you need the ball back, and the best way to do that is to get pressure on the offense. Get out on them, hit them in the hips, put your stick on their hands.
And up the far sideline, Kamiakin will get it into the offensive set here as they'll go inside the box and then retreat and pick things up and pass it out to Mon. Mon with it goes right side, and there is Logan Howard. Howard has had a key portion in this comeback in the second half here for Kamiakin, moving that ball around nicely. Mon with a right-handed shot, and that is deflected out not too far from where he tried to fling it, and now we get a whistle, and we're going to get a push, I think, against Kamiakin on the loose ball, so it'll go over to Wenatchee.
Yep, because the possession had not been gained yet, and somebody hit somebody else in the back. It is called a loose ball push. No penalty, but the possession is switched.
So Vander Schalie will come up past Bort and just run by him like he's standing still. Vander Schalie into the box again and will shoot, and a little bit high this time, and Wenatchee will maintain possession with 2:17 to go here in the third quarter, leading it by a score of 8-4. Matthew Jobe with it. We'll go back to Vander Schalie on the left side. Vander Schalie outside, it comes to Henry Nelson as they kind of rotate bodies. Nelson gets past his defender, will spin in the lane, and then he will get the shot off. Somehow it missed, went off of the right upright, and another shot by by Logan Huntley as he was hit in the head. We do have a flag down on the play, And I think this will come against Kamiakin.
Henry just missing that shot right off the post there, doing a little whirly-dirly, a few spin moves there, almost was able to sink that goal with the and one.
Curran Bond will have to sit out for a moment, so Wenatchee will go on the man advantage here after the penalty called here with a minute 51 to go in the third quarter. Well, we saw Vander Schalie come up with a goal right before the end of the half, and this would be a great time for Wenatchee to get their 9th in this contest, get a little more breathing room. So, minute 47 to go, clock starts as Wenatchee brings the ball out. Nelson with it. Henry back outside. It comes to Jorgensen. They'll circle it around right to Vander Schalie. Vander Schalie will go as they'll kind of tighten that circle as they go around and around and around they go. Trying to bring the defense inside. Beautiful pass and a shot in close and a goal by Owen Graves.
Great find by the ex-attackman there. Owen cutting down, running that man up offense perfectly. He saw that his defender was focused too much on the ball, snuck in right behind him.
Graves out of Kashmir. The sophomore midi comes up with his first goal of the game, and a big one there with a minute 31 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, as simple as that was made to look, that's a really hard pass to handle. You're running towards somebody. They have to get that ball next to your ear, which is difficult in itself. Then you have to handle it on the run and get it out of your stick before somebody comes and cleans your clock.
Henry Nelson with a beautiful pass to him there, and you said that's kind of his specialty is to get that ball in the right spot.
It's just impressive how he's able to run and manufacture his offense. He could have more goals today, but he's opted for smarter plays, giving one to, I think the one to Ken, to KJ, and then I think he had one to Vander Schalie, if I recall.
Yep.
So he's doing what he needs to do to get his team goals, and it's showing.
So we've got a different body out there on the faceoff here for Wenatchee this time around, as it is Theron Sorum who did the faceoff duties. It will be Martin that will pick it up here for Kamiakin. And Wenatchee went offsides there, as I think it was Henry Nelson that just got a little bit off balance near midfield as he was trying to make a hit. So they'll let the play continue, see if Kamiakin can come up with a shot as the ball is loose outside on the far left over there.
And because Henry was offsides and the flag's down going, why not just stay offside? So now they're going to be able to double the ball, extra man playing defense.
So you can't be added an additional penalty for the offside?
Right, so he was already offsides, so instead of staying back, just keep going.
Sure. Which you see Henry Nelson about 5 yards in front of the goal mouth right now. Bort will go back behind the goal, and the attack there by Bond. They'll get it back out top to Martin. Martin will feed inside, and there close was Carter White, and Carter will shoot, and he will be knocked to the ground after that, and so we'll finally get a whistle, and it will be Kamiakin ball, and now we will get the penalty assessed by the officials. Again, our officials today, the referee is Brian Walker. The field judge is Ryan Fancher. And Mr. Walker will come over and tell us about the penalty of offsides. So just a 30-second variety. So that could be used, I guess, to your advantage. If in, say, a situation where you're behind trying to get the ball back or something like that, it's a 1-goal or 2-goal game, offsides and get your guy down there to defend an extra defender, right? I mean, give up the 30 seconds to hopefully make a stop.
Well, if it's that important, yes. I mean, it would be depending on a game situation. I haven't seen that executed, but I could see how it would happen.
Little strategery.
Strategery.
Bort with the shot, going back to the old SNL days. 11.2 seconds left. 5-goal lead here for Wenatchee. But Kamiakin certainly a little more spice in their step in the second half.
Yep, see, rotating into that box formation. No, just rotated out of it.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. And I don't think that penalty elapsed, so Kamiakin will start with possession to start the fourth as we come back after the 60-second timeout. So don't go anywhere, folks. This is an entertaining one here today. 9-4 the score. Wenatchee on top of Kamiakin. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE Channel.
911, what is the address of your emergency? Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious? No, he's not. He's not. Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Rivercom 911. Rivercom 911 is hiring today. See what a career as a telecommunicator can do for you and what you can do for your community. Go to rivercom911.org and apply today. Also by Sangster Motors. The American Challenge is on at Sangster Motors, home of the all-new Yukon SUV. Along with Thomas Bass, Eric Granstrom entertaining one here today as Kamiakin came back with some spice in that third quarter. They scored 3 goals. Wenatchee, though, countered with 4. And the day is all about Andrew Vander Schalie with 5 goals on the afternoon, and he's not done yet. We still have another 12 minutes to play.
Yeah, his ability to get up and use his speed and size as quickly as he does from the start of his drive to the end of his drive. There's very little time, and he covers a ton of ground. The Kamiakin defense has really got to start doubling him early and if they don't want him to keep scoring.
And we have seen Kamiakin come out in the second half, and I think Wyatt Schaefer, their head coach, told the kids at halftime, obviously, we're bigger than these guys. We have to be physical with these guys, and that has certainly been the case here in the second half.
Yeah, Kamiakin's made good adjustments. They're putting 2 big bodies on crease like we talked about earlier. They're executing that at least better than they did in the first half, with it being only 1 goal in the first half and 3 in that last quarter. So they're at least possessing the ball and getting good shots on cage. Carson Reiner, a good goalie. They're still able to work it past him.
So we're waiting for Wenatchee's goalie to get out there. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's out there. As Kamiakin, as we talked about, after an offsides by Wenatchee shortly before the end of the third quarter, and Kamiakin possessed at the end of the quarter, so they get to possess here to start the fourth, and it will be just a mere couple of tick-tocks before Wenatchee's able to come back at full strength. But Kamiakin, we've seen him be able to take advantage of that man advantage here in this game so far. Bort with a shot, and that will go past the end line as it missed to the right of the goal mouth, and will be Kamiakin ball. Back behind the goal, Carter White handles it back there, and the ball loose on the ground as Tim Mon couldn't hold on to it. White had it, then lost it, and Wenatchee comes up with it. As Wenatchee's got another one of their youngsters out there, Evan Mathena, is out on the ground right now, and the ball loose as Kamiakin picks it up. This time it's Martin who has a couple of goals today, and he'll shoot again, and a nice job of cleaning that one up by Reiner. Reiner will quickly get it into the offensive set here for Wenatchee as Owen Graves brought it in, and they got it in the box, but then lost the handle for a moment. We're going to get a bunch of fresh bodies out there. Looks like Isaiah Cummings is out there for Wenatchee, who is another one of the JV players. So some flex players, if you will, coming into the game here for the Wenatchee lacrosse team as they'll go right side with it. And again, another youngster, Jaron Larson, out there. So it looks like Coach Parker's gone with a lot of fresh bodies to start this fourth quarter.
Don't count these young guys out. I coached them in that fall ball season, and they put up some goals. These guys know how to play still.
Matthew Jobe with it, one of our starters here today for Wenatchee, as he will go across the middle. He will get it in tight to Vander Schalie, who was looking for his sixth. Excuse me, that wasn't Vander Schalie, that was Owen Graves. Graves right there on the doorstep looking for his second of the day. Unfortunately, the defense makes the stop. Good job by the goalie there, Logan Osler. Osler will go left with it, and it will come into the stick of Captain Osborne, and he will lose it, though, as Wenatchee will go after the loose ball, and Osborne flicked at it. Wenatchee will have it here, and now we're going to get a flag called, or flag thrown, and we'll have to see what that one is. But first, Wenatchee's going to be able to maintain possession as they'll go back behind the goal to Kenny Gilman. Gilman on the attack will try a wraparound pass, and it is deflected and picked up by the defense. And now we'll see about the penalty here against Kamiakin. It will come against Captain Osborne. So I didn't see exactly what happened with. So was that conduct or contact?
30-second conduct, and now that's usually for unsportsmanlike or something like that. It might have sworn, he might have tripped a player, I'm not sure.
I didn't see any contact there, so it may have been just a little frustration factor number 9, and one of those 4-letter words we don't like to use on the broadcast. 9:52 to go here in the regulation. 9-4 the score, Wenatchee with it, as the Matthew Jobe will have it back behind goal. It's working it from right to left. We'll go left with it to Henry Nelson. Cross it over to Andrew Vander Schalie. So now, after the start with a bunch of young bodies to start this fourth quarter, now a lot of the regulars back in there. And here's a shot. It will go off of the goalie and then picked up back behind. So Wenatchee continues the pressure here as Henry Nelson will pass it back out top to Sorum. Back to Nelson. Inside close. And here's a shot off the side of the net on the shot for Wenatchee by Jobe, and this time it's picked up by Osler. Osler with a pass out towards midfield. It's picked up by Tyler Martin. Martin will give it up on the right side as they finally step inside the box and then get a punch there from behind, as handling the ball was Curran Bond, who's got a couple of goals for Kamiakin. Braves trail it by 5, 8:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. Back behind is Tim Mon. We'll work it around to the left side as we look at it here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Tyler Martin has it and then directing traffic as he'll send everybody away. Martin will come back behind the goal. Much more slow pace here in this start of the fourth quarter than what we saw in that frenetic pace in the third. Martin looking for a body in front. Wenatchee's got 5 defenders there around the goal. And the ball will come outside and then get fumbled around, but then finally picked up by Curran Bond. They'll rotate out top and then get it off to Zach Bort. Bort has been quiet here today. The leading scorer for the Kamiakin Braves. I don't think he's got a goal here today. Bort comes left with it to Carter White, then back, he'll collect it again out near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Bort's been having difficulty getting past Cadell Velasquez there. I'm sure that's what Coach Parker had in mind when he was looking at this depth chart. He's going to put his best defensive midfielder with a long stick on their best offensive midfielder.
That was a pass, and it was errant, and again, another turnover here by Kamiakin. I think they were trying to get it to Bond out in front of the goal, but it was too high for him, and so Wenatchee will get it back here. And that pass is too high, intended for Jacob Harrisek over there from Carson Reiner, and so it will go over to Kamiakin. Boy, you hate turning it over in your own end, that's for sure.
Oh, especially the unforced ones. That's just not a great pass on a freshman defender.
Here's a shot, and that was by Bort, and again denied by Reiner. And now we're going to get a flag, and this, I think, will come against Wenatchee again. That ball still loose on the carpet here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl, and coming clear out to gather it is Reiner. He'll pass it up to midfield, and this flag might be against Kamiakin because they're letting Wenatchee still play here.
Wow, what a play by Carson Reiner. That ball was 15 yards away from him. He knew his speed, he knew his angle, and he kept the possession with Wenatchee to keep that play alive. That is a heads-up move.
Pass in front for Henry Nelson. Oh, my, right there on the doorstep, but he's denied, and now we're finally going to get a whistle to stop things here, and we'll get a penalty against Kamiakin. And that, I think, Bort will have the penalty come against him because he is heading to the sideline here. The officials will talk it over. With 6:44 to go here in the fourth quarter, our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, providing outstanding value and service since 1962. Our official will come over after a brief discussion with his counterpart. And they're going to say a stick to the head here, I believe.
Yeah, so that was a cross-check to the head, and if you saw the referee put his hands over his head, that's one of those non-releasable penalties.
Okay, so even if Wenatchee scores here, that means that the penalty will still hang on for that 2-minute period.
Yes, and those penalties are specifically reserved for very unsportsmanlike conduct plays or those that are really, really dangerous, as in a stick to the head without the hands together. Now, you're allowed to use your stick as a brace inside of your hands, but when you make contact with them with your hands or using that stick as a pushing weapon, your hands have to be together, and the contact has to be with the knuckles of your gloves, not the stick.
And definitely not to the head.
Definitely not to the head.
Okay.
Definitely not to the head.
Wenatchee with it.
Which is why it is deemed a non-releasable.
Here's, oh my, what a shot from the left side at a tough angle, but it's good by Henry Nelson, and Wenatchee into double digits here on the afternoon.
Yeah, that feed from Matthew Jobe, those two have just had a connection all day. Matthews, or I guess it was to KJ who Henry hit the first time, but those two are going to be able to send that ball back and forth over and over. Henry is a great sniper on the backside pipe. And again, because that penalty was non-releasable, as targeting the head, Wenatchee is going to stay man up as we progress.
So a great job taking advantage and being aggressive on that particular play as Henry Nelson collects the goal. That is his second of the day. Make that the third for Henry Nelson. So he's got a hat trick to go along with Vander Schalie's 5 goals here this afternoon. So a banner day for Wenatchee offensively, and they still have the man advantages Thomas talked about. But the face-off momentarily looked like it was going to go for Kamiakin, but a good job by Velasquez to come up with it for Wenatchee.
Just a good hustle play. I mean, ground balls are indicative of how bad you want it and how fast you're willing to get to the ball, and he did one right there.
Well, and we talked about the physical size of Kamiakin, bigger than Wenatchee, but Wenatchee definitely has the speed. There is no doubt. Nelson going to try for that tough angle again where he had the goal moments ago. It will go off the side of the net and then carry him out of bounds, and so it'll be Wenatchee ball. Oh, we got an offsides call against Kamiakin as well, so they'll have 2 bodies on the sideline.
Now, that first penalty is still non-releasable, but the second one will release after a goal.
So it's a 30-second penalty for offsides against the Julian Perea for Kamiakin, who hadn't been in the game until just moments ago. So youngster out there having to learn the hard way. So Wenatchee back on the offensive set here. 2 men up, and here's a turn and a shot and a goal for Wenatchee, and it's Matthew Jobe collecting his first of the day.
Matthew with 2 assists today, I believe that's his first goal. Him working that corner, drawing the 2-on-1, making that one defender have to play both him and Henry. Now, the last goal they got, the defender played Matthew and he hit Henry. This time, defender played Henry hit Matthew, goal.
So the points collecting on the day here for several players in Wenatchee uniforms. And this goal makes it an 11-4 contest. So that will release the youngster who was offsides, but still their best player, Zach Bort, on the sideline with that hit to the head here a little bit ago.
Yep, and there, Kamiakin just letting Wenatchee have the ball, not trying to get a fast break situation, dropping in on defense just to try and kill time and stall, not allowing another fast goal.
So Jobe works it back behind the net here. We'll go left to Henry. Out top it comes as they'll work it around the horn. And Vander Schalie will be happy to continue to work that ball around the perimeter. There's a little run by Sorum. Nobody could find him. And this one's going to go over to Kamiakin on a shot. And it was actually the goalie that got back there towards the end line first.
And that's just a good hustle play again. Goalie turning around, knowing the situation, chasing that ball, and happy to be the closest one to it. Wenatchee's got to understand that and have a guy back for that.
Pass a little bit high at midfield, and it was loose on the ground. And who's going to get this one? It will be Wenatchee coming up with it. As Theron Sorum came up with that loose ball. And now Wenatchee on the offensive sets. Matthew Jobe had it for a moment, gives it up to Sorum. And they'll go back behind with it. And the penalty now released by Kamiakin. And then a shot right between the wickets. And a goal by Kenny Gilman, his second of the day.
That's how dangerous those non-releasable penalties are. I believe Wenatchee got 3 in those 2 minutes non-releasable. That's how important it is to keep your body low. Aim for those hips. If you aim for somebody's shoulder or chest, which is legal, and you come up over the top and slide up, you hit them in the head, that's illegal. That's why you got to aim low. So when you roll up, you hit them in the ribs, into the chest, and you don't go any higher.
So Wenatchee in command of this one. We'll see some fresh bodies come out onto the field. In fact, the faceoff now will be handled by Logan Huntley, freshman from Wenatchee High School, as he will come out to face off against Zach Martin for Kamiakin. Wenatchee now on top 12-4. As they came into the day 1-1 on the season, 3 games in their first week of the season, and looking like they'll get back above 500 with this game here today. Appreciate you joining us for lacrosse on the NCWLIFE Channel, our first broadcast of our spring sports schedule. We'll have baseball coming up on Tuesday. Grant Olson and I will be at Dan White Field. We've got another flag here coming on a loose ball, and Zach Martin was whacking at one of the Wenatchee players, Gino Sanchez, in fact, who is hitting with a stick. And so it will be Wenatchee ball. Again, fresh bodies out there for Wenatchee, as they have a number 12 out there, and I don't have a 12 on either of the rosters, unfortunately.
I believe that's Luke Bird. I believe he's a junior.
Okay. Also in comes Jaron Larson. Wenatchee working it behind the net, but ball goes over momentarily to Kamiakin and then picked up by Wenatchee, as it's Isaiah Cummings with it. And how big is that if you can get a guy that's normally on JV to get a varsity goal? That'd be huge, huh?
Oh, goodness. It's all about program building and just, making sure that the bright lights of the stadium don't ever, overshadow you or shock you when you first step on the field. Anytime you can work in those younger guys, they understand the flow of the game, how to sub, how to stay on sides, how to run a man up or a man down. Any of that is crucial in developing.
Tyler Martin has it for Kamiakin after the turnover by Wenatchee, so the Braves will work the offense here as they work it down to our left with 3:40 to go in the regulation. In this one, Wenatchee on top now 12-4 after it was a close contest in the third there for a while. It was 6-3 at one point, 7-4 at one point. But then it's been all Wenatchee since, as they have scored 5 unanswered goals here against Kamiakin, and 3 of those coming in a man advantage on an unreleasable penalty, and that was huge in this fourth quarter.
Non-releasable penalty will lose you a game, man.
Reiner comes out and tries to pass it up to midfield. It's picked up there for Wenatchee by Evan Mathena. Got a couple of the Mathenas out here for Wenatchee today. Ball turned over, picked up by Martin. Martin looks like he's trying to get away from a swarm of bees at a summer picnic, and finally gets it across the midfield stripe, steps inside the box, and now we'll get some help. And losing a glove was the man who's coming out in relief here for Kamiakin. That's Julian Pereira. Kamiakin will go left with it and then come back outside to Martin. Martin's picked up there by Cadell Velasquez, who's been just fantastic on defense all day today for Wenatchee.
Yep, just shutting down Bort for the most part. Never really a good look, never really having a chance. If that ball hits the ground, Cadell has been all over it, coming up with big play after big play.
We will have a post-game show here on the NCWLIFE Channel down on the field, so be sure and hang on for that here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Also on our Facebook stream today. Appreciate everybody watching. I know that Brandon Parker has a bunch of folks down in California that typically tune into the broadcast, so hello to anybody down in Cali that might be watching. Wenatchee back on offense as they get it in tight, turning and, losing the ball, unfortunately, was Isaiah Cummings as he was right there on the doorstep. The goalie, Osler, comes up with it, and he's got 5 bodies pestering him, and then the ball finally comes loose, and they're going to call a penalty, I think, on Wenatchee because there was about 5 sticks that were whacking at him. Even though he did have the ball, they're going to call a hold against Wenatchee. And this will be whistled against the Bird, I think is who you said that is.
Number 12?
Number 12.
Yep, number 12, Luke Bird.
Okay.
It's always funny to see a goalie come out of cage, and poor guys, I mean, they spend all day getting absolutely shelled by 75, 80, 90-mile-an-hour shots if you're dealing with Andrew Vander Schalie. And then the second they come out of the cage, everybody starts licking their chops like they want to go lay him out because they don't have elbow guards. They've got that big stick that doesn't handle the ball very well. That guy had 5 guys draped all over him, just hacking at him like lumberjacks.
Isaiah Cummings also has to come out of the game here momentarily for Wenatchee. Another penalty against Wenatchee here.
Yeah, I think for the same thing. They probably could have called 3 more guys for a check to the head.
So Wenatchee only has 4 defenders here as Kamiakin has a golden opportunity. And right there on the edge left for the shot was Carter White, but it goes wide left and it will go out of bounds, and Wenatchee was closest to it, so Wenatchee will keep it.
Good hustle by Mathena. I don't think he was actually closest to the ball when that ball got shot, or at the end line when it got shot, but he out-hustled his man getting all the way there for it.
Wenatchee trying to get the ball in the box here. Lost the handle on it for a moment, but then they get it back as Logan Huntley came up with it. He will get it in, and then he will try to shoot, and the ball goes wide left, and it will be Kamiakin on a hustle play by their goalie, Osler, who will get the Braves the ball back. Time winding down here, 1:21 to go. Again, post-game, we'll head down to the field, and I think we have to talk to Andrew Vander Schalie on a 5-goal day here today for Wenatchee, and we're not quite done yet. Although Vander Schalie not out there right now. Wenatchee back as they get the ball back on a turnover, as it's Evan Mathena who had it. And now we're going to get a penalty as much larger Kamiakin Brave and much older class-wise. Kamiakin Brave knocks one of the kids down. Isaiah Cummings probably has a little stars. And now a shot, and was it in? Yes, it is. For Wenatchee over from the left side, give it to Logan Huntley.
So because that was a 30-second penalty, a push with possession, and the ball was not knocked loose, and the player was able to get back up, this will be waived. It will not be a 1-and-1 situation. Now, had that been a slash to the head or an illegal body check, something totaling a minute or more, then the penalty would have been enforced after the goal. Wenatchee would then be able to have a man-up situation with a face-off ensuing.
That's why you're here, Thomas, to be able to decipher the rules and all of the makeup in the game behind the game.
Oh, the game is so much fun to watch. It has so many made-up fairy tale rules, though. I mean, it just they all make sense. They all make sense, but, I mean, you're out there with butterfly nets dangling wands around. Describing it and getting it to a place where you are, skilled enough, finessed enough to play the whole sport. Once you've played it and seen it a few times, all the rules make sense. You shouldn't be able to hit a guy in the back. He's defenseless, right? If he keeps the ball, don't blow the whistle. Let him play it out.
Kamiakin with the ball under 30 to go, trying to get one more tally here before it's all said and done, and the ball loose on the ground. Here's another hustle opportunity here for Wenatchee as Kamiakin actually will come up with it. Martin gets it after fumbling it was Carter White. White now with it back. He will get in and shoot and score. And this a late goal with 18.1 seconds to go will make it 13-5.
It was a great shot, offside hip. I don't expect a goalie to make that save every time. It was a good bounce. That's the furthest that stick has to get around for that goalie to get to that side. His stick is in his right hand. That goes to his left side. He has to go reach low all the way around, stepping that direction in a very small amount of time to get there. Very good shot by that offensive player.
I know if you're Carson Reiner, though, he's thinking, I shouldn't have let that get away.
Oh, every good goalie has never let a goal pass them. The whole idea is I've never let anything go past me before. I've never let a goal in my entire career because I'm not going to let the next one in.
So that makes it 13-5 here as we have one more face-off to go. And as we've seen, it only takes just a few moments for a goal to happen. Martin will win the face-off. He will stand there at between the hash marks here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl as the time winds down with 7, with 6, with 5. He's got to get a shot off with 4, with 3, with 2, and will he get a shot? He will, but it will sail out of bounds, and that'll do it as Wenatchee improves to 2-1 on the season as they get the victory here today by a final of 13-5 over Kamiakin. We will take a break and come back. Next we talk to you, we'll be down on the field, and we will have one of our stars of the game joining us as well here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Don't go away. Our postgame coming your way next.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
And welcome back here on the postgame show on the NCWLIFE Channel. The boys are over saying thank you to the fans. I like that, Thomas Bass. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, that's something Wenatchee's been doing for a while now. We're very appreciative of our fans whenever they come out here and brave the cold or whatever it may be. It's always good to let them know that you're cheering for us. We cheer for you at the end too.
Well, and a big reason for the fans to cheer today is Wenatchee gets a 13-5 win over Kamiakin. What did you like about what you saw today from Wenatchee bouncing back from a tough loss last night on the road in Richland?
Well, a hard thing to do is always to go travel, go get, go have a disappointing game, and to come back and have a high-powered offense that controlled the ball, didn't have a lot of unforced turnovers, put a lot of goals up, and then obviously the defense and Carson and Ryan are able to lock it down with only 5 goals. That's a very good score.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to try, if we can get him over here, we're going to talk to Andrew Vander Schalie coming up here on the postgame show, who had 5 goals here today. It was 5, right?
5.
Okay. We kept waiting for that 6th to come.
Yep.
But there was other guys that wanted to share the load as well. So we'll take a break and come back, see if we can get him over here on our postgame show as we're at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl as Wenatchee takes care of business today, knocking off Kamiakin by that final of 13-5. Back with more right after this.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
Show on the NCWLIFE Channel as the Wenatchee knocks off Kamiakin here today by the final of 13-5, and 5 of those goals goes to the man that's to my left right here, Andrew Vander Schalie. Congratulations. Talk about this game here today, and how tough was that to bounce back after a road loss last night in Richland?
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely a really hard loss last night. We didn't have all our players, but having like all the fans here and all the coaches really helps. Yeah. It was great to have all the fans out here. It was really fun.
It really seemed to make a difference of Kamiakin today. We saw a lot of those turnovers. They're not used to playing on a turf like this, where you guys, this is your home field, this is where you practice all the time. I thought that was a big difference in this one. Did you?
Yeah, a lot of passes sometimes go out that wouldn't on a grass field, so that makes a big difference. So, I mean, it happens for us too. Those mistakes get penalized a lot more, but yeah, we managed to keep our passes pretty well, and we kind of came out on top in there.
You got the first goal of the game, 51 seconds into it. That was a nice tone to set for you guys. Is that something Coach Parker talked about as far as getting off and getting on the offensive set first and quickly?
Yeah, we were definitely trying to get aggressive very quickly, but it was just a lucky turn of events as Matthew Jobe from X kind of found me as I think they were subbing and then they lost me, so it was just a really good play to start the game.
5 goals. How often do you find that in one game there, young man?
Sometimes, rare occasion, pretty lucky. Yeah, it was just a matter of having teammates that would clear through, move the ball, pass really well, and just working hard.
So I know that 3 is a hat trick. What do we call 5? Do you know what the term is for that? Is it quintification or something like that?
I like that. I do like that.
Okay.
That's catchy.
All right. We'll call it the quintification from now on. Andrew, congratulations on the win and best of luck down the road here.
Thank you.
You bet. Andrew Vander Schalie joining us here on the postgame show. We're going to wrap it up for our broadcast here today. Thanks to Dan Kuntz, our line producer, Matthew Ortiz, who's here as one of our camera folks, Hunter Muma as well, Connor Hawk back in the studios, Malcolm Whitehall back in the studios. We also have Josiah Jones, one of our new kids here today, as well as Nate Mann. I think I got everybody. And thanks to Thomas Bass for helping me out here on the broadcast as well. I'm Eric Granstrom. Thanks for watching lacrosse here today, where Wenatchee wins it by a score of 13-5 over Kamiakin. Have a good night, everybody.
The shot, and beautiful!
Thanks for watching high school sports on your home for local high school sports, the NCWLIFE Channel. Today's broadcast was brought to you by Biosports Physical Therapy, Charter College, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Les Schwab, One Way Construction, Rivercom 911, Save Mart, and Sangster Motors. Stay with us all year long for high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel. We now return to regular programming already in progress.